Okay, in this part, I'm going to be walking you through how to create this guy. Now, originally in part 1, our animations were only idle and run, but I also added attack on ground, which is when our player is dying, and staying on ground is just when he's laying there. But just know that he has new animations to work with. The reason why it's red is because I just changed this main color and then applied it to this right here, and our player has a health script and a player animation script. What the health script does is when he shoots our player back there, the health is gonna -1, and you don't really need to worry about the play animation script, but all it does is just helps him move, and I added a new function which just makes him do an animation, but we're just going to work on the AI for this guy. So let's add a new JavaScript and call it enemy bot script. The enemy bot script is going to be a lot like our neutral bot script. So what I'm going to do is just copy all of our neutral bot and open our enemy bot script and just highlight the original function update and paste over it. The reason why I do that is just because it's basically the same thing. In the first part we set up this switch, and it's going to have the same kind of switch with different function names, and it's just going to have some more variables. So let's go ahead and start changing what we want. Instead of aware distance, we want attack distance. Okay, and we actually want it to be 10, just so our enemy will not attack as soon as our neutral bots run away. That'll make it a little bit more realistic. And we're gonna call our enemy AI status, and we actually want to attack, not be scared, so replace that scared to be attack, and the status has to equal idle at default, and we also need a hand transform, and what the hand variable is going to be is our hand right here. The reason why I want to do that is that's where the bullet is going to come from. So var hand transform. We already have our player, and we can get rid of scared distance because our enemy is never going to be scared, and it's not going to be running either, so you can get rid of that. It's not going to be moving. You can get rid of the move direction, but it's going to be shooting, so var fireball, and it's just going to be a sphere for now, but you can make your own particle system if you want. So the fireball is going to be a game object, and we're going to instantiate that fireball. Fire rate is a float value and equals 1.4. I got that value by experimenting and working with animations. Like, you don't really need to worry about the fire ball and rate, because that has to really do with animation. And a private variable called next fire. And by default it's a float and it equals 0. And we got a controller. When it starts up, find the controller. Okay, now we want to change our switch because we don't have scared and we don't have these functions. Well, we do, but we're going to change them. So, status is the same. Change this to enemy AI status. Idle, those can stay because they're the same. But this has to be changed. So, enemy AI status scared wants to be attack. And our function we want to call is attack, which we have not made. Check status is relatively going to be the same, but we're going to change a little bit. So, enemy AI status equals attack, and we want the distance to be less than attack distance, not scared. So if our distance between the player and the bot is less than attack distance, which is 10, then set the AI status to attack. Okay, and in the update, that's going to check whether if it's attack or idle, and then it'll evidently call attack. And if the distance is greater than attack distance, well, I think it's self-explanatory. You just call idle. Status equals idle. Okay. Now we don't need the runaway. We actually want attack. So delete all this. And transform look at, just like what we did in the neutral bot at the beginning. Player.transform. And we want to play the attack animation. So animation crossfade, attack. Okay, so if time is greater than next time, or next fire, then do something. And if you remember, next fire equals 0 at the beginning by default. So when this function is first called, it's going to attack no matter what. It's going to instantiate the bullet, which is going to be in here, no matter what, because this is 0 and this is greater than 0 no matter what. So that's why we do that. Okay. Next fire has to equal time plus fire rate. And fire rate is going to be 3. Or 1.4, my bad. So it's going to add the current time plus 1.4. That'll make this boolean not true for 1.4 seconds. So I'm not going to go into this too much, but just know that. Okay, so just make a clone of our fireball, and then we're going to give it velocity. First we want to ignore collision with our current collider, which is the bot's collider. We don't want our bullet to hit our own player, our own bot, so that's why. Velocity equals transform direction. And if you're confused about anything I'm doing right here, just check out the muzzle flash tutorial. It's free on the site, and I think it's like a blue, it looks blue in the video section, so if you don't understand this, just check it out. Now the bullet script, which we have not created yet, I don't think, yeah, we haven't created that yet. Anyways, the bullet script is going to be a component on the clone. So if you go into the prefab section to the fireball, there's going to be a script right here called bullet script, and we need to add it. So game object dot add component bullet script, and then okay, so in bullet script, which we will create later, there's going to be a value that we have to define called player shooting. And I don't know if you've seen this before, but in the game Quake 3 or Quake 4 or any like online game, they have it where if you get killed, then it'll display who killed you. And to do that, we're just going to add our enemy bot object value to this player, or this bullet script, and then when that bullet hits the player, then our player is going to know that our enemy is a player shooting. So when we die, we can say killed by enemy bot. So that's why that's there. And that's pretty much it for this attack function. And the idle is actually going to stay the same. So Control S, it's going to give us an error. Oh, 61. Oh, I put a colon there. Okay. And what else is going on? 17. Maybe use left hand. I don't know what's going on there. Just clear. Nope. Oh, that's what's going on. 38 and 43. Okay, what you're gonna do is gotta change that status. Forgot to change it, so up on the private var status add enemy. Okay, that should clear all of that. Yeah, there we go. So if we play our game, it's going to give us an error, but that's okay because we haven't created our bullet script yet. So if we play and we go near our enemy. Oh, I haven't even put the script on there, my bad. So on the enemy bot, just drag that enemy bot script on there. And after you make it so it's not a prefab, what we want to do is just update it so it is. Drag and drop onto the existing prefab. Okay, so we want to define all these first. So the hand is going to be located through enemy bot biped under the pelvis, spine, spine 1, the neck, left armor, upper arm, forearm, and then our hand right here. So just drag and drop the hand. Our player needs to go here. We have our fireball right here in the prefabs, and our character controller is just going to be defined on awake. Okay, let's play. Run away. Okay, he's attacking. And no matter where I am, he keeps on looking at me and shooting balls that don't do anything. But that's just because the bullet doesn't exist. The bullet script doesn't exist. Anyways, that's how he works. Our bullet script is also gonna destroy these game objects after a while. So let's get to that.